Welcome back to the Vegan Bikini Prep Diaries. We are so excited for this episode today. At least I am.
Episode number 3.
Episode 3. This is a really special episode because Belinda just competed. She is fresh off the stage. She got some really good feedback. She's got her stage shots. So this is going to be a great episode today. I'm super excited.
Yay, I did it.
This is show 1, just show 1. She's still
Just
going,
show
so
one,
we'll give
right.
some updates.
Great. Yep, I made it. I lived to tell the tale. So for our podcast, we're always going to do our little updates first. So Brooke, why don't you give us a little update of what's going on with you? I think you're 2-ish months out, 8 or 9-ish weeks out is the target, right?
Yes, about 8 to 9 weeks out. I feel like I'm finally looking 8 to 9 weeks out. I got a big drop this week. Came out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit. But I was feeling like I looked like I dropped, but it just took the scale a minute to catch up with my body. And I think sometimes just with inflammation that happens. But I got like a 4-pound drop, which was really exciting. So I'm
Wow.
moving right along. Still at 40 minutes of fasted cardio, still at 14,000 steps a day. My macros are pretty much the same, 175 grams of protein, 180 carb on high day, 140 carb on low day, 40 fat on my low day, and 35 on fat on my high day. So nothing's changed. Everything just came together, and
That's great.
it's working, and I still feel pretty good. My strength has sucked this past week. I mean, my workouts have been shitty. Like, I knew I was gonna get a drop.
That's usually a telltale sign. Like when so usually in prep, at least for me, but I think this is pretty common, that strength usually goes like around 8 weeks out. Everything starts to feel really heavy and training sessions just don't hit the same as they used to. So that was
Yeah.
definitely a sign that your body was getting ready to drop some fat for sure.
Yeah. So strength is down, but my energy is still pretty good for the most part. So yeah, I mean, I'm just trucking along. I have my eye on the St. Pete Pro. I'd really like to do that show if I'm ready in time. Because I'm feeling like I'm probably gonna have to travel for a show anyways. Might as well do like a fun location.
And great photography and videography too, because the photos and videos of that show are going to be really beautiful. So
Yes, they have a great
you
vegan
know,
scene, great beach. So I feel
yeah.
like I could make a whole trip out of it, might as well. And so
Hmm.
that's what I'd like to do. We'll see if my body cooperates. But other than that, no changes, just moving along. Prep is prepping.
Well, I see it. I mean, I see it in your face, I see it in your neck, and I actually see it in your shoulders today. You're also looking like a bit more
Yeah.
shouldery today than you were last week. So that's very exciting, and that's what prep is all about. Prep is essentially take your body as a sculpture, and you're chipping away the marble, and it's slow. Some weeks are better than others, and you're just revealing all of your hard work that you've worked on when you were not in a contest prep fat loss phase. So it's very exciting, and I'm happy for you, and I can't wait to see what next week brings.
Me
So
too.
just keep trucking along. Okay, are you hungry?
I have been hungrier this week. I have definitely felt hungrier.
Mm.
Especially yesterday. I had to really fight it. I had to really, really just fight it. And go to bed, honestly. That like I just try to go to bed early because otherwise I'll just start thinking about food, start thinking about what's in my kitchen.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
and it's not like I even want to eat anything bad. It's just I want like an extra piece of seitan or like so just like go to bed early, but it's been manageable.
I think
It's been manageable.
the key to managing hunger in a fat loss phase in our case specifically contest prep, where there's a real goal as to why we're doing it, is staying busy. Because for me, staying busy keeps me away from the nibbles in the kitchen. So one of my tricks that I do, and Brooke knows this, is I go to yoga almost every night because that keeps me busy instead of sitting in front of the TV dreaming about my macro friendly vegan kitchen. I'm in yoga, stretching and relaxing, and I come home from yoga, walk my dogs, and I go to bed. So that's my trick of how I manage nighttime hunger when I'm in contest prep. You speak from a place of privilege. I don't have kids, so like that's something I can do. I don't have to be home taking care of other family members. But even if I did, that would still be keeping me busy. So I think the key is just stay busy. That's what keeps you away from, from all the extra
Oh yeah.
snacking. Okay, so that's really good. Quick prep update with me is I'm still in prep. I did not give up yet for the season. I was given feedback to keep going, so I will. So this week, I'm technically 5 weeks out from my next target show. This week I'm kind of giving my body a little bit of a break. I'm not off prep per se. I'm still eating my prep diet foods. I'm just eating more of everything. So like I upped the carbs and I upped the fats and I just increased my food volume of what I've normally been eating. I've cut my cardio in half. And I have a few days off this weekend to be with family. And then next Monday, when I'm 4 weeks out, I will be pedal to the metal and officially like back in the thick of it like I was before. But yeah, so I'm still in prep. So that's the story over here. So yeah, show
All good
recap.
things. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Show recap. Show recap. So I think people will find show day pretty interesting.
so
Oh, look at
we,
your medal. So
yeah,
cute. It's a diamond.
yeah. So
Very cute.
I got two medals. This is my first place one. Yeah, it's so cute. I got a tiara too, but I didn't bring that back with me because
You got a
it
tiara?
was just like a little plastic one. It wasn't like
Oh.
a big expensive one. Like so I left it. Maybe the someone at the hotel would want it. But anyway, so show weekend. Yes, let's do the recap. So ask me all the questions.
Okay, so show day. I think people might be interested in what you eat on actual show day. I know we talked a little bit about this last time, but maybe talk about like everything that you ate to get ready for your show.
Okay.
And I know for me, like before I started bodybuilding, like I remember thinking like peak week, you would still probably be on like no carbs, like starving yourself. And really that's not how it is at all. Like you actually get to eat pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So well, there's two important strategies for eating for show day, right? So you have the way that you eat the day before. So shows are usually on Saturdays. So the way you eat on Friday is really important. So Friday, I had a pretty carb heavy day. I ate a good amount of carbs. Again, I just ate my normal foods. I just ate more of them. So I had more bread with my breakfast. I had more potatoes with my breakfast. I had more croutons like in my in my salad. And then for dinner, I did avocado sushi rolls with lots of full sodium soy sauce because you want to eat a lot of salt the night before and fat. That's what helps make your muscles look really great the next day. And I had a steamed edamame, white rice, and steamed veggies. So I basically just ate my normal foods, just more. And of course, the sushi was a bit special. And I had practiced with that the week before. So I knew that my body would react really fine with that. So
Yum.
I woke up Saturday morning and I thought I looked really good. I did not spill over. And we spoke about that last episode. Spilling over is when you miscalculate the amount of carbs and fats you're supposed to eat, and you can actually like ruin the definition and lines in your physique. So I did not spill over, so that was good. So I looked pretty good. I was definitely having a ghost phantom period. I was having PMS symptoms. I was about 2 pounds more than I thought I would be that morning. And I had a layer of water on me that I could really see in my upper thighs and in my lower back that wasn't really there like 2 days prior. So I definitely was a little softer than I wanted to be. So how I mitigated that um, was Friday and Saturday. I just took Midol bloat relief, which is an over-the-counter diuretic. It probably helped a little bit. I don't really know. I looked pretty good on Saturday, so I think it must have helped a little bit because my water wasn't. I wasn't too watery. So I think I did a good enough job. So that was what I did to help with that. My period did not come, so that was good a day at least.
Yes,
And
thank God.
and um so what did I eat on show day? So I had my normal breakfast because you wake up so early on show day. So I was up at 4 in the morning. My appointments for my tan and my makeup, they started at 5 a.m. So I ate my normal breakfast because I probably wasn't going to go on stage until 10 o'clock. So that is a full 6 hours for food to digest and maybe use the bathroom and, not get you too bloated. So I ate my normal breakfast. I just I took out my keto bread because that is full of dietary fiber and it's heavy, and I replaced it with rice cakes. So I had my normal breakfast, which is the seitan sausage, just egg and veggies with rice cakes. And that was like my main meal that I ate of the day. And then the rest of the day, I just snacked away on those vegan gummy bears, the vegan rice crispy treats I had, the protein crisp power pretzels,
Mm.
rice cakes, peanut butter, and salt. And that is what I like munched on throughout the day. And I managed to stay looking pretty good. I
Yeah.
did not I did not have as much of a pump as I wanted to, but I think it had something to do with the ghost period in the watering issue, and so I wasn't as crisp as I necessarily wanted to be, but it is what it is. So yeah, I just sort of snacked all day on those things, but my morning meal was the same. So yeah,
So I'm sure everyone's dying to know what was your post-show meal. I know
you know
you
what it
had a
was.
yeah.
So it wasn't that exciting, guys, because I'm sorry if there's any of our listeners are from Orlando, but the Orlando vegan food scene was like not that exciting. Like I looked up, so I was in my hotel room, I was there alone. Um, I looked up like on Uber Eats and Seamless. I really only saw like one vegan restaurant. I think it was called Vegan Junction, and it was like all like junky vegan food, so like Impossible Burger and fries and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't love having that stuff delivered because like if it gets to you lukewarm, like it's sort
Yeah,
of like you like lose the it's like the type of thing you need to eat at the restaurant. You want those fries to be crispy and you want like the burger to be hot and steamy. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
That's how I personally feel. And then they had like a vegan Thai place, but I didn't really want that either because it wasn't junky enough for what I wanted. They had a vegan Indian place. It was probably like a ghost kitchen or something, but it didn't like really look like anything I wanted at the moment. So what I ate was a bag of kettle corn from CVS. We had that, and I had my leftover sushi from the night before. So I had a brown avocado roll because the avocado wasn't green anymore, but it was still good. It was just not fresh anymore. And it was not that exciting of a post-show meal, but because my options like weren't fabulous. But the day after when I got back to Chicago, I ate my favorite like vegan meal in Chicago from this place called Alice and Friends. So I had like my free post show meal the day after. But anyway, yeah,
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
I remember being in Orlando and it was really hard to find good vegan food there. Like, unless you're in the theme parks, there's like no
yeah.
good vegan food. So, unfortunately, uh, yeah, he had to make the CVS popcorn work. But like sometimes that's all you need though. Sometimes it's just that's what you're craving and like
Yeah.
for me, I may do the same thing this year. Like I might just have a bunch of my favorite snacks and then,
And
you
you know, a
know,
good thing about the big bag of popcorn is that I could open it right away and I could snack on it when I was waiting in line for my feedback. So I was having my little snack when I was waiting. That way, by the time I got back to my room, I wasn't like ravenous. So it actually was kind of like a good trick, I must say. Have like a bag of like pretzels or popcorn or chips or like whatever your like salty, sweetie, whatever snack of preference is. And that way you can have a little snack while you're waiting. That way, when you go back to your room or go out to eat with your family, you're not like totally starving. Um, so yeah, that's what I ate. And water. Oh, okay. Water. I had normal water the day before. And then show day, um, I just sipped black coffee, no sweetener, and um sipped water. So like just a little bit of water here and there, but I mostly drank black coffee. And the reason for that, coffee is a diuretic, so it can help dry you out. Not that at that point it really mattered much anyway, but it was just a little something. So my body did react on Sunday to, the Midol bloat relief diuretic, not drinking enough Saturday, obviously, which is normal. My body did react Sunday. I was kind of a water balloon, and that is normal in bodybuilding. Everybody always kind of looks like very round and not defined the day after they compete because of the
yep,
water retention. But it was only bad on Sunday. And also, I don't think flying helped either. Well, obviously. So,
definitely not.
yes, Sunday I was like a little, oh, this is scary. But then by Monday, it kind of was fine. And then today's Tuesday, it's like I'm fine, no issues at all. So yeah, that's the nitty gritty of the food and the water. So
So this was your first show where you were by yourself, right?
um
Or
I
you've done
guess
another show by yourself?
um I guess so. This is the first one I did completely alone. Arrived alone, did alone, didn't have like anybody following me with a camera, didn't have any stage dad helping me, totally by myself. Yeah.
So how was that experience this time?
I have to say that I preferred it. Because I didn't have to
I
think
could
about
see that.
anybody else. I just did me. I went on my own schedule. Um, it was fine. And I met a few girls like in line at check-ins, in line for feedback, in line at tanning. So like it's not like I was totally like silent for 2 full days. I met plenty of girls, but it's kind of nice because you're on your own schedule and you don't have to worry about anybody else, and you don't have to worry about like making sure everybody else is okay and taken care of, and other people are hungry, they want to go eat. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I can wait in line for my feedback, which took like a solid hour and a half because,
Wow.
yeah, well, people were waiting first because Sandy was still judging, but the other head judge that was under Sandy, this other woman whose name I could look it up, I can't quite remember. She gave feedback first, so everybody was waiting for her feedback. And then Sandy didn't give her feedback till after the whole entire show was done. So we fit model finished before Bikini. So it was kind of like a long wait, but it was fine. I had my popcorn and I was fine. So yeah, it was good to be alone. I kind of preferred it actually.
Yeah,
It's
I
nice
could
when
see that.
people are there supporting you, but it's also nice to just kind of like do your own thing. So
I always feel like a little semi guilty bringing somebody with me just because you know how it is. It's a long ass day. Like some people may not realize, if you've never been to a bodybuilding show, it's an all day thing. You're
Think about
there all day.
think about like a little league football or baseball game drawn out by like 10. It's
Yeah. Like a
so
tournament, like an all
long
day.
all
Yeah.
day. Yep. It's
So,
it's not like a good sport for people, for family members to come watch, because also like when you're backstage, it's very chaotic, and it's not it's very stressful to like communicate with people when you're going to be on the stage. Like, cuz you don't like really
yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
they all of a sudden they say like, "Oh, all bikini like line up," and you're like, "Ah," and you don't have time to like let people know. And so in a way, it kind of can be better to just go by yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And at an
anyway.
amateur level, you're not even on stage very long. So you might have all these people come out to support you, and you're like doing your individual routine for 15 seconds. Then you go off, and then you
Yeah,
come back for comparisons. But yeah,
yeah,
so I always feel a little bit guilty having like my mom come out or somebody come out, because it's just a lot. It's a lot to have somebody sit
definitely.
through.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, what else? What other questions?
So I'm curious what your feedback. Well, I know your feedback, but let's tell the listeners what your feedback was.
Yeah, so let's take one step back and tell everybody how I did so that they know I didn't just like go up there and trip and like go home crying. So I actually had a really good show. I did really, really well. So I did the fit model category, which you guys know, that's the new category in the NPC. Um, there was an equal amount, I think, of bikini and fit model. Maybe there was a bit more
Wow.
bikini, maybe a bit more bikini, but there was really quite a lot of both. Um, Fit model, I believe, actually had a good amount of masters competitors in it, which I'm not surprised about, because the whole point of fit model is sort of like a healthier, more natural look. And when you are older, that can make more sense, because you might not necessarily want to do the things required to have that really conditioned, um, muscular, competitive bikini look. So I realize now it makes sense that there's actually a lot of masters in fit model. So there was quite a lot of masters competitors. I
And masters, for anybody listening, is usually
Right.
35 plus.
That's right. So masters means 35 plus, the older people. So they have 35 plus, 40 plus usually, 50 plus, 60 plus. Some shows go every 5 years, some go every 10. I think it depends on how many people sign up. So I competed in the 35 plus category, and there was quite a few ladies in that. And I didn't place as well in that, but that is common for me. For some reason, I usually place worse in masters than I do in open. I don't really know why. I can't really answer that intelligently. I think it's just one of those weird bodybuilding things. But in open, which is all the ages, which is the more competitive height class, or more competitive class, I won my class.
Yay!
Oh,
That's
yay! So
so exciting.
it was really really exciting, and I wasn't quite expecting it. Like when I was backstage, Brooke, like I thought I looked pretty good. If I do say so myself, I thought like I looked pretty fabulous. Definitely one of the best like looks I've ever had. I thought everything just kind of came together, and I felt very fit model. So I looked nice and healthy. I was conditioned, but I wasn't too vascular. Um, I just sort of really felt like I had the look. And there was a few other competitors that looked really good too. It's not like I was the only one, but there's definitely a good amount that looked on par with me, if not better, obviously. And yeah, so I thought I looked good. I didn't quite know how well I would do, because when you're up there, for anyone that's never competed before, it's very chaotic. Like you're when you're online on the comparisons, so that means when all the bodies are standing there, that's what the comparisons are. So you're usually up there with 5 to 10 other women, and they move you around. That's how bodybuilding works. So they tell, number 2, switch with number 6, the number 5, switch to number 2. And they eventually get you in a line. In how it works in bodybuilding, or usually the people in the center are the ones that are winning. And then it kind of, the placing fans out as it goes down the horizontal line. It's not always like that. There are sometimes like some shows that kind of mix it up a little bit, but for the most part, wouldn't you agree? Like 90%
Yes.
of the time, the winner's in the center. And I was in the center immediately, and I didn't move. And when I got off stage, I was like, oh my God, I think I was in the center the whole time, because she was moving other people, but I wasn't moving. And then what I mean by it's chaotic up there is you don't necessarily know you're in the center, because it's a horizontal line, and you can't like really gauge like how many people are to the right of you and how many people are to the left of you. Like, don't really know. You agree with me?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
totally.
like don't really know how you're doing. But when you get off stage, you can kind of reflect of like, oh, they moved me a lot, or they didn't move me a lot. And then usually you'll have someone in the audience watching you that will tell you, oh, you didn't move, or oh, it looks like you're going to be second or third. And I didn't have that. So I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't think I moved. And I texted you right away. And I texted you like, I think I held center the whole time. And then they put the image on NPC online, and I saw that I was in the center. So I was like, oh, that's so exciting. So I had a feeling going into finals that I either was going to get first or second, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to get. So when I got first, I was floored. Like, really, I did better than I thought I was going to do. I did a hard show on purpose. The show I did, people travel from all over the country to go to that show. So I did that on purpose because I wanted to see like what it was all about. And
Yeah.
so,
I want to give you
yeah,
some major kudos because
thank you.
there's a lot of people who share on social media like I won first place in my bikini show, and oh, I'm a bikini pro, and like not an NPC, not an IFBB, like you did an OCB show, or maybe you did a very small show where you can go
Mhm.
pro in one show and there was like 2 or 3 people there. Like, I'm seeing that more and more on social media, and like, yes, that's still an accomplishment. I'm not talking down on those people, but I do want to say what Belinda did is hard. I mean, you
Thank you.
found a hard show and you traveled to Orlando to compete
In
against
the hard show.
really good physiques, and that is
Yeah.
impressive. There are, I feel
Mhm.
like more than
Thank
ever,
you.
there's so many people who they do these like little crappy shows, and there's 3 people in their class or 2 people,
Yeah.
and then one person doesn't even look like they work out, and then they're advertising, oh, I won first place at my show, hire
Right.
me as your coach. And look, like, everybody everybody do what works for them. But I will say, just as someone who knows the sport, I have a lot of respect for people like you who do
Thank you.
seek out the hard shows and they
Thank you.
compete in real bodybuilding shows. Like, it's a big deal. So like, anyone listening, like Belinda winning her class in this show, like, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Like,
Thank
she
you.
she had, when I saw the picture, when you sent me the picture, and there was probably like 8 girls in your class, something like
I
that.
so I
Maybe.
they since they posted everything online today, now I know there was 7 girls on there. So there was 6 in my class, and then only one person in the class after us. So they put her with us. So there was 7 bodies up there. That doesn't sound like a lot, and it actually isn't that big, but it still was not easy, if that makes sense, because
No.
half, I would say, like, it's an accomplishment. Anybody that gets on stage, it's an accomplishment. Everybody works hard. But of course there's different levels of the competition, and I would say easily half of the ladies looked fabulous. And
Yeah.
so I was stoked. Like I'm really happy that it went that well for me, because it's put a lot of wind in my sails, and I'm really excited to keep going. I think if I had gotten second or third, I would if I think if I had gotten second, I still would have been excited because I did get great feedback. So like I know what I have to work on. We'll talk about that in a second. If I had gotten third, I might have been a bit like, I think I need to probably call it and go back to work and try again
Yeah.
in the future. Because guys, anybody that's never competed before or is thinking about being a physique competitor, it's a very, very expensive hobby. I mean, it is not cheap. It's not.
No.
Every show is really expensive. The process, the prep is expensive. Even though you're not going out much, you're still eating a lot. You have things to consider like posing coaches, prep coaches, supplementation, blood work, yada, yada, yada. It is a very expensive little hobby that you and I have picked up over the years. So it has to be worth it to do the shows, you
Yeah.
know? At the end of the day, I compete because I love building my physique. Brooke and I have something in common that we have really transformed over the years. We both used to look a lot different. We both used to be many, many sizes different than we are now, look completely different than we are now. I would say that Brooke is probably in agreement with me that sometimes you look in the mirror and you really are in awe that that's you. And I still feel that way all the time. Like when I have a day that I look really bomb.com, like it almost makes me cry. I'm like, I cannot believe that that's me in the mirror. I really just like, I can't believe it. Like, this is incredible. I'm shocked. So
Yeah.
that being said, what was I even talking about? Anyway, it's a very expensive hobby. You want to make sure that you're doing it. It makes sense for you. So anyway, placing. I think if I had gotten third, I might have been like, I think I need to go back to work and kind of call it. But I got first. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep going. And yeah,
And
really
the other
cool
thing
show.
is for
Yeah.
for our listeners, the thing is when you get your feedback, you really have two directions that you can go in. And
Hmm.
typically if your feedback is you need to build more muscle, like if you have a show in 2 weeks, you're not going to build any muscle in 2 weeks. So it's pretty much time to
Correct.
close up shop and
Right.
maybe pick a different show down the road. But
Right.
if your feedback is come in a little bit leaner, that is great feedback. It may not be what you want to hear in the moment because you work your ass off and you're like, I'm already lean. How could I get any leaner?
Right.
But
Right.
at the same time, it's like you've got the shape, you're in the right category. We just need you to lose a few more pounds, and you can do that in a few weeks. And so that's pretty much the situation you're in, where your feedback was like green light, proceed, keep going. We just need you to come in a little bit tighter, which is great.
Yep. Pretty much. Brooke knew my feedback right away because she knows everything. So that was my feedback. My feedback was from both head judges, come back a little tighter, just a hair. Like Sandy told me a hair. And I was like, okay, how big of a hair? And she's like, okay, well, he's like, show me your back pose. And I had sweatpants on, so I had to drop my pants and I hit my back pose. And she was like, just a hair. So in my mind, I'm translating that. So I went on stage at 18.8 pounds. I was holding a pound or two of water because I was in the 117s before I left. So between ghost period, flying, whatever, I think I was holding a bit of water. So in my mind, a hair to me is somewhere in the 115s, which is doable in a 4 to 5 week period for
Yes.
sure. So that's that. She told me I need more upper outer glute, but sidebar, that is literally everybody's feedback.
Yes.
Like that is even Miss Olympia's feedback. Like they want this like real 3D upper outer glute effect that controversially I don't like even know how it's that possible to build it without maybe injecting something you're not supposed to. I'm not saying that's what people do, but I'm just saying like it's such like a 3D cartoony look that it's like really really hard to do that. But that's literally everybody's feedback in bikini and also fit model, also wellness, like upper outer glute for everybody.
Yeah.
So um I I can accomplish that look in a short period of time by improving my posing, because part of how you get that upper outer glute look in a back pose in bikini, wellness, and fit model is the way you arch your back. So like I don't know how I could show it, but anyway, you have to arch your back in such a way that it like creates this illusion of that shelf. I think if I improve my back flexibility a little bit, I can get it to pop out more, because especially that I got my stage shots now, I can see that my back wasn't as arched as I thought it was. So my back was so sore Sunday and yesterday, Monday. It's actually feeling better today, my lower back, because that's how much they posed us. Like they worked us pretty hard.
Wow.
I in overall I had to walk to the back 3 times, I think, and hold back pose, both original back pose and walk to the back. My back was sore for like 2 days. So I, even though I feel like I'm arching a lot, I can see from the stage photos that I got back today, I wasn't arching as dramatically as I thought I was. So I need to work on my back flexibility, which I'm going to do by doing the yoga cobra pose more. So I do it plenty, but I'm going to really like static hold it for like 30 seconds times 5 every day for the rest of eternity. No, until my next show. Until my next show. And I think I'll be able to create more of that upper outer glute look just by simply arching my back a bit more. And then, of course, I've adjusted my training. So I wrote a new program for myself Sunday night. Um, I'm self-coached this year for anybody that doesn't know that. I wrote my new training program for myself, and obviously just really hammering my upper outer glutes. So I'm just going to really pedal to the metal for the next month and at least get a good pump going. I won't really be able to build much, but at least I'll be able to like get them to pop, I hope. And leaning down more will help also, because the narrower my waist is, the tinier my waist is, the more my upper outer glutes will pop. So, and then also the leaner I am, that area in my upper thighs, which is my problem area, that will also lean down a smidge, which will also create more of a rounded glute look. So there's hope for me. There's hope for me. I don't need to throw in the towel yet. And I'm just going to work really hard for the next 4 weeks and show up again and see how it goes. But my feedback was fabulous. Like, she told me I'm in the right place. I'm exactly what they want for fit model. My conditioning was beautiful. My presentation was beautiful. Posing was perfect. They loved me for it. So I'm really, really happy. It's like a really great feeling, honestly, because Brooke has mentioned this a few times. You know, bodybuilding is a sport of criteria, and everybody's body is different. Everybody's physique is different. Um, if there are thousands of women competing in bikini, there's really only 15 of them that place really well year after year. It's really, really hard to have like that exact specific look that they want. So to hear
Yeah.
in this new category that I'm perfect for it was really exciting. And I feel great because it's nice to know that I was in a real crossroads with bikini because I love bikini. I look bikini on my own. When I pose in bikini, posing, I look bikini. Put me in the line with everybody else. I'm usually quite a bit smaller than a lot of people. Genetically, I don't do well with leaning out around my glutes. I just don't. So it's a real challenge for me to do well competitively in bikini. Could I compete and do fine? Yes. But to be competitive, I know that I have like genetic and lifestyle limitations that will only bring me so far. So it's nice to
Right.
hear that like I'm in the right place and I'm the right size and shape for what they're looking for. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, back to work and the biggest and you know, I was texting you this earlier today, Brooke. I can really see from the stage photos some errors I had in my posing. So I have this real tendency, and I did this last year too. For some reason, I twist my torso like almost straight on the judges. I don't know why I do that on stage. I don't do that when I'm practicing alone. I don't do that when I'm practicing with a posing coach on FaceTime. But for some reason, when I'm on stage, I like am totally twisted over. It's really weird. I don't know why I do that. I think like I'm trying to like really look at them or something. So I really need to practice that because my waist, I did like a comparison of when I was doing my check-in in my hotel room that morning to the stage photos. And my check-in in my hotel room, I look significantly more hourglass because I'm not as twisted forward. But for some reason, when I'm on stage, I like twist too much or something. So I need to really, really work on that. And that, my friends, is the fun of competing because if you're a competitive person, either competitive against yourself or competitive against other people, like it's really fun to see like all your hard work come to fruition on stage. And it's and if you're a real bodybuilding nerd like Brooke and I, it's a real thrill to like also see the results and see what you have to work on because the work's not done. So like
Yeah.
it makes me really excited actually to know that the next time I compete, there's a chance I might look significantly better actually because I
Yeah.
can work on my posing and lean down a bit more and I could have like kind of a whole different look in a month really if I work hard on it, which I will. So I'm
Yeah.
really like excited to see what my next package looks like. And the benefit of doing this show too, Brooke, was to dust the cobwebs off because going on
Definitely.
stage is very nerve-wracking. To all of our listeners that have never competed before and are thinking about it, um, posing in a thong bikini in front of hundreds of people um, is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Like you, it's so different than just being in your gym in your leggings and like flexing in a mirror. So different.
Yes, it's very
So
different. And you have the
yeah,
lights. I mean, the lights are like blinding. There's like a loud music. It's like a club in there. I mean, it's just that's why I will never do like a one show season like I did before. And like just seeing you go through this, it even like confirmed that because you when you do your first show, I feel like it's just like you said, you're dusting off the cobwebs and just with so much going on, sometimes it's hard to get up there and nail it
yeah,
because you're thinking about so many other things and it's just it's totally different than practicing by yourself in the
it really,
gym or
it
even with a
really is.
coach.
It really
So
is.
if
Yeah,
you
and
do
I
two
told,
shows, you can see like you get your stage shots, and if you get your stage shots and you're like, oh shit, like I know better than that. Like then you go into your next show and then you can work it a little bit more. So like I will never do all this freaking work for one show ever again.
yes, listen, like last year I just did one show. But because I didn't place that well, I got crushed. My life was really hectic at the time. Like I knew I had to call it, and it's okay. So like sometimes it does happen. It's one show, but ideally you budget for 2 or 3 shows. That way you can kind of work out the kinks as time goes on. But yeah, my at prejudging, the instructions for how they wanted us to enter on stage were very confusing. And so like they had me on the side, still behind the curtain, and then they told me to get out in onto the stage. And then they told me to walk forward on the side, and the girl in front of me was still doing her routine. And then they told me to go, but she was still like in the middle of her routine. And I like said to the guy, and I like had to say it like over my shoulder like this because you don't want like the judges to see you talking. But I was like, she's still up there. And he was like, I know, but go anyway. And I was like, and so I had to like walk like really slowly behind her. If anybody, they could have seen it on the live stream if anybody watched. It was so awkward. So by the time like I got to the box in the center where I posed, I was a little discombobulated because of what I like just had to do. So my prejudging routine was a little wonkadoo. Like I was a little like I was a little, no, I wasn't deer in headlights, but I definitely wasn't like feeling myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but then backstage, a lot of the girls were talking about had that happened to them too. A lot of people were getting pushed out and cutting off the person's routine in front of them. So there was like a lot of confusion. So I don't think I was alone with that. And I wasn't docked because I got first place. So I guess it was fine. And I did my routine again at finals, and I did a better job with that one. So I'm going to be getting my high quality video footage soon. I can't wait to see it. And of course, like I'll show it to Brooke immediately and we'll see like how I did. But a couple of other posing things. I think this is getting long and I don't want to nerd out like too much, but other posing things I noticed from my stage shots when I transition. So that means when you go from back or you go from front
To back.
and you to back, but you have like a little side step in between where you kind of like stop for a second. When I go from the side pose to the back pose, I let my stomach out. You could see a pooch. Um, so I lost my core control when I was up there, which is interesting because when I'm posing by myself, I don't do that. Like my core is tight, like because I do my stomach vacuums every single day. Like my core is like it doesn't move. It is like a corset. But I lost my core control up there. So that's what the beauty of like getting the stage shots and the feedback in the video because you can like look to see what you did great, what you did okay, and what you can improve on. So I noticed my core control in that side to back. I saw it pooch out because you are holding your breath when you're up there. You're not pulling a vacuum, but you're holding your core tight, if that makes sense. Anyone that's like wondering what the hell we're
Yeah.
talking about.
It's
You're
like when
not
you brace your core when you're
bracing your core.
lifting, like somebody's about to
Exactly.
punch you and you like tighten
Exactly.
your stomach. That's basically what you're doing.
Exactly. It's not like I'm holding my breath, but I'm bracing my stomach. So I noticed that I let out my core. And then there's a few shots where you could see me. I don't know if they got it when I maybe did a walk to the back or something, but they did like a few shots where I'm walking and I could see that I dropped my glutes. And in the bikini bodybuilding world, what that means is you have to hold your glutes really high when you're posing. You're like arching your back and you're like puffing out your glutes, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's a very unnatural way to walk and stand. But if you forget to do that, your glutes like drop. And I can see that they dropped in a lip, not all of my transitions, but one of them I see that they dropped. So I have some things to work on. I have to work on my They call that posing conditioning, like being able to hold your poses for a really long time and not like let the stress of the stage and all the chaos of the stage like mess up your flow. So I'm excited to work on my posing, excited to like chip off another layer or so. She told me not to lose much though. She was like just a hair, because I told Brooke this. I think they docked a girl that looked fabulous because I think she was too lean. I think she was like a body fat percentage or two leaner than they wanted for fit model. So even though I would love to be like really shredded and really lean, because I do love that, it's not my criteria anymore. So I have to just like embrace this softer, healthier look and do the
Yep.
thing. So I'm
And
really
that's
excited for
another
the
common
stage
thing.
video.
That's
Yeah.
another common thing in bodybuilding is a lot of people, they come in how they want to look, and you can't do that. You got to come in how the judges want you to look. I mean, you can look however you want to look if you're doing a photo shoot or, you know, you're taking content at home, but if you're doing a competition, then if you want to place well, at least you do have to follow the criteria. So, and they're still
Right.
kind of working out the kinks for fit model. And, you know, it's also interesting too, because some people will say it's subjective. Like, you know, there's some judges who prefer a harder look in bikini. There's some judges who prefer a softer look in
That's
bikini.
right.
So, you know, it's
Yep.
just, you just got
Yeah.
to try your best, try your
That's
best
that's
and get
all.
your feedback and then do another show.
And we spoke about this on our last episode, but like, you know, you can't compete because you want to win. Like, yes, you want to win, but you should not compete just because you want to be first. Listen, because you're going to lose a lot more than you're ever going to win.
Yep.
You should compete, you should prep, do a contest prep and compete because you want to put your best self forward and show off all your hard work after all of your years of lifting and working on yourself. That is why you compete, to be a bit better than you were yesterday and get the cool photos and video and look like that for a little bit. It doesn't last that long, so you soak it in and have a good time, and that's what it's all about. And yeah, I'm stoked. Like I'm really excited. Uh, I took Sunday off of lifting, so yesterday was Monday, and I was back in the gym. Man, that first session back, like after a win, there's nothing like it, because you just like you have a vision in your mind of like what you want to look like and what that next level is for you. So I had a fire lift yesterday, and my glutes are so sore. So
That's awesome.
we'll do an episode soon on training. We
Yes. Yeah.
won't we won't like bore you guys anymore because this is getting quite long. So we'll probably wrap it up soon. But we're gonna do an episode for sure on like training for our categories, which we honestly train the same. It's
Mostly.
the difference in our categories now is just the level of conditioning and the level of muscularity and the posing. But the
Yeah.
training, an hourglass figure is still the same, honestly. So we'll talk
Yeah.
about that in another episode. But yeah, so I did it. I did pretty well, better than I expected, and I forge on. I forge on. So we'll see how
Woohoo!
the next week we'll check in again, and I'll have more of an update like on how things are going with me and how things are going with you, and we'll think of our next category or topic we want to talk about. And yeah, so everybody, thank you for listening. I hope we didn't bore you
Yes.
too much.
Yes, and make sure to comment if you have any questions. If you want to see anything specific in these videos, let us know. We're here for you. We're here to provide value. So,
Yes.
yeah, and definitely stay tuned. We're still moving on. We still got a couple
Oh
weeks,
yes, we
several
just
weeks. So,
we're just warming up because all of the
yeah,
excitement is to come, because my next show is a national show. It's a pro qualifier, so like
it's a big deal.
the stakes are going to be high. Yeah, but
Yes.
Brooke, I really think like with some posing tweaks, um, a little bit leaner, I don't think I'm out of the running. Really, I think I have a good shot. I
Yeah.
thought my stage photos looked beautiful. I thought I looked really nice. I looked really pretty and healthy. I thought I looked really good. And I'm a
Yeah.
little
I think you've got a great shot.
and you're probably laughing because I was saying how bad I looked for weeks, and I saw those photos. I was like, oh, I actually look pretty good.
I know. I'm like, you just need to eat. You just need to eat and pump up. Like, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, I thought my look was nice. That wig was pretty. I got a few
Yeah.
compliments on it backstage too. Like 2 or 3 girls were like, "Your hair's so beautiful," and I was like, "Thanks." Anyway, I met a few other competitors that do wigs also. I wasn't
That's
like the
funny.
only one. Yeah. I mean, listen, you save almost $300 by popping
Yeah.
that wig on because they charge almost 300 for the hair because the makeup is around 200 and the hair is getting close to 3. It's like
Yeah.
260 or 275 or something for hair. So
It's crazy.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, very expensive. Anyway, anything else before we wrap it up?
I think that's it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.